right, thanks. Sunset.
Thank you, sir. You will be sunsetted, and you are now sunsetted. Now, usually I don't bring in callers for second calls because that kind of like irritates me, Ray. Like, maybe that's just a pet peeve that I have. Not maybe, it actually is. Like, I don't like you calling in twice because it's just not fair, for one, and it just makes me want to fucking... Well, I won't say what it makes me want to do.
Drop spaghetti.
Yeah, it makes me want to drop not spaghetti, a certain
Layeth the smacketh down.
a certain instrument that will leave your organs hanging on the floor. But I won't say that because that's not fair. And I actually like Cassius, so I'll give him a couple more questions.
I understand you don't like it twice.
I don't like it, so get to it. Important. Get to it. Just get to it.
Chop, chop.
Right. So you were mentioning about you take the live stream off the main page, but if someone is streaming really illegal content, that surely has to be shut down. And also, would you generate a new wallet and address specifically for Bitcoin?
Generate a new wallet. I can ask someone to do that later. Yeah, but just generate a new wallet for what reason? Because
for Bitcoins,
so I don't want to be tracked.
Oh, you don't want to be tracked, but you're always tracked from.
Yeah,
your
but you
end.
can look.
It's
You
not
can use a
information.
Tumblr. Look, you can use a Tumblr on your own, and there is no way to actually transfer
we can't
Bitcoin
stop
without.
people tracking you by generating a new wallet.
Literally, if you know anything about Bitcoin, look,
I've done.
Hey, Kaz, I've done my Bitcoin research. Believe me, and there really is no way to fully anonymize, whatever you can call it, make anonymous your Bitcoin contributions. There's Tumblr services. That's about as good as you're going to get. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but...
Yeah, I know that, but like, if it's not publicly there, then it's not easily trackable. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean if he doesn't put the address? Well, I mean, how is he going to get donations, though, by not putting out his public...
He just gives it to me, and I'll... I'll send him stuff.
That's up to him. I mean, I'm just saying, but as far as his main Bitcoin address,
maybe I can get your email afterwards, and then
maybe he would be open to that. But I'm saying, like, as far as long-term Bitcoin contributions, you have to have a public address. But yeah, I mean,
I'm well aware of that. Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if he wants to send you a private address, I mean, that's up to him. So. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you, sir.
Right. So your other question was about illegal content. Yeah. So in a fully decentralized system, you cannot remove illegal content. We can only remove it from, like I said, we can only moderate it away from things that we control. But think about it this way: the internet is a fully decentralized system, right? I understand that. You can add a server somewhere and you can upload what you want and you can break the law. That's up to you. That's your responsibility. And I don't think because that is possible that you should regulate the internet to prevent that. I think the benefits outweigh the costs there. So we are building a fully decentralized system, and it will, in the same way that the internet works, that you can upload illegal content. That will be possible, but it will be done in such a way that we as BitChute, the company, are not responsible for it. And we're not doing this because we want people to upload illegal content. That's just a side effect.
It's just the nature of the system that you're doing, right?
We want to give people the responsibility, the power, we want this to, we don't want to be the people who are ultimately telling people what they can and can't upload. But if they do something that breaks the law, then that should be their responsibility.
It should be, but it's still going to be your servers, right?
No, not in a
not in a peer-to-peer environment. It won't actually.
So
whose servers are going to be running it?
Everybody's servers. I mean, that's how peer-to-peer works.
If you upload something illegal to the Ethereum blockchain, whose servers is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that's a part of the blockchain.
Everyone else is right. So that's a decentralized system.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Brave tokens are Ethereum. So if you guys have Brave tokens that you would be interested in offering up, I believe that the BitChute website, because every time I go to the donate page, it pops up the little Brave token thing. I think you can donate Brave tokens through that.
Yes, you can. Yeah, so we've got that on the site, and
I'm glad you said
I
that.
really like the Brave design. I think they're doing a great job.
By the way, I'm glad you said that, because you can also donate Brave tokens. BAT is what the call signal is at TheRalphRetort.com. And even on my Twitter, you can donate it. But in this case, I would say if you have some extra, throw them to me. But if you just have extra, throw them to BitChute. That would be my call here. But yeah, Brave is really cool, actually. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a good browser, and it's a really quick and easy way everyone can de-Google themselves a little bit.
Very good. BAT. By the way, I see the BAT soup trending in the DLive.RalphRetort. Whatever. DLive.com. What is it? Fucking, why did I say .com? God damn, I'm about to throw my fucking mouse through the window. DLive.TV/TheRalphRetort. DLive.com. What the fuck? What did he fuck?
It's like 12:30. See, Ralph's
dude,
brain only lasts until midnight.
Dude,
and then after that,
it's a fair game, dude. I fucking, you know how many times I've said DLive.TV/TheRalphRetort? Like a million bazillion times. And I have never once fucked up and said DLive.com until tonight. And I just want to fucking punch myself in the face. Actually, I would do it, but it would hurt. Ray, Vahey. Oh, wait. One more caller. Wedge, go ahead.
Oh, no, he's muted. Give him a second. There we go.
Nah, I knew you were going to say that. Ray Vahey, the owner of BitChute, sat here and actually went, honestly, you know, I had some of these questions thought up, and a lot of them just kind of, you know, first off, some of them were submitted, and others just kind of came up organically. I appreciate you staying here for this long and kind of, you know, taking all comers and taking all questions and being very open and honest about BitChute and the service itself and your plans for the future. And I just want to give you this opportunity to say anything you felt like you didn't get out, or ways to support you, or ways to promote you. This is your time right here.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. And I'm a fan of the show as well. I do watch TheRalphRetort.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, like I say, we are community funded. So if anyone wants to support us, you can go to our Help Us Grow page, which is linked at the top of the site. That would be really appreciated. And we've got some merchandise perks as well. So we've got this BitChute exclusive mug, and it's a bit like we copied the Mug Club from Stephen Crowder. Yeah, but I'm not ashamed to say. But yeah, we only make 500 of them, so our club is better, because you get like a limited edition mug. Yeah. And then after that, we'll never make that type again. We'll make a different one, second edition. So we've got about 200 of those left. So if you want that, that's really helps us out. And we've got T-shirts as well. And yeah, however you think you can help us, please do.
Very good. And that's very cool. And, you know, we kind of, this show, I mean, to be honest with you, gets by on super chats, you know, people sending in jokes, people sending in questions. But, you know, we sell merchandise too. Some people would rather have a physical, you know, item. You know what I mean? Like they'll support, but they'd rather have a shirt. They'd rather have a fucking bag or a poster or something like that. So you take it how you can get it. And, I guess I'm just struggling. I've heard you speak before. I've listened to some of your other appearances. Just how you know, forthright you are, and just straight out mild mannered type of dude who's doing such important work. It's hard to, I don't want to oversell it, but it's almost like impossible to undersell it, because it's impossible to oversell. Excuse me, I fucked that up. But like the service that you're providing, hosting videos, it's not even a political position. We talked early on in the conversation about leftists being able to upload there as well. All these channels are going to continue to get banned from YouTube, and it's just like you said, we talked about VidMe earlier, you know, with millions and millions of dollars, and you know, it's Ray Vahey here, just with, you know, duct tape and donations and any type of support he can get, kind of holding up. BitChute's really fucking important. I don't know. Like, do I need to get loud? Like, this shit's really fucking important that it continues to exist. And so I'm very glad you came on the show. I appreciate it, and I hope we can have you back in the future as BitChute hopefully continues to grow and it's kind of a linchpin on this part of the internet. So, by the way, somebody said no pressure, no pressure, no pressure at all. But yeah, it is kind of like that. Like, it's really fucking important, and we make jokes and we talk about all kinds of crazy shit on this show, but BitChute is extremely fucking important. And
if you have the means and the opportunity, please support BitChute. Please support everybody that uploads and creates to BitChute, because it is a resource that we're ill-equipped to replace.
Well, support BitChute. I won't say support everyone who uploads to BitChute, because I know a few. Well,
I mean BitChute in general.
Yes,
support them by supporting BitChute.
Support me, of course, because I upload on BitChute, but I won't say every single person, because I know some pieces of garbage who upload on BitChute as well. But that's the beauty of BitChute, that they're able to upload too. I don't like these people. I would like to throw them through my window that I'm looking at right now. But that's the point. Like, I don't have to like them. It's about them having a space, me having a space, everyone having a space. That's the beauty of BitChute to me. Thank you, Mr. Ray Vahey, owner of BitChute, for coming on this program. And again, I hope we can have you back.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure, and I'll come back anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for that.
You have a very good one.
Dave Kelso here with Paradigm Shift and Educational Comedy. I agreed to do a video pertaining to BitChute with focus on the migration to a fully decentralized platform. So I may as well kill two birds with one stone and create this for both. I'm also going to include some highlights from a conversation Ray Vahey and I had on the BitChute Discord server. But please do note that I am only sharing my own perspectives about that conversation, as I do not claim to speak for Ray, I only claim to speak for myself. It was extremely great to see that Ray has made it a priority to move BitChute to a fully decentralized platform, so that is going to be the focus of what I present to you here. I would like to explain in as simple of terms as I can how a centralized platform differs from a fully decentralized platform, and why this technology is extremely important for the survival of freedom on the internet. With a centralized platform, you have a physical server sitting in a room or office somewhere. The server hosts and controls all of the content which resides upon it. This provides both a point of control as well as a point of failure. We see the point of control easily enough with all of the online censorship we've been experiencing. If an extremist zealot company such as YouTube or Facebook feels you have committed wrongthink, you can be deplatformed. They also tend to not follow their own rules and are usually extremely vague about the rules that they do have. As for point of failure, a single server can be attacked and taken down. There is also reduced efficiency. As a service grows and becomes more popular, that server experiences greater loads, which reduces efficiency. We've been seeing these sorts of problems happen with BitChute, as they are not yet fully decentralized. With fully decentralized services, there is no server-client relationship. Each peer or node or device on the network has the capabilities for being both client and server in equal measure. Instead of the location for a piece of content being pointed to a single server, the location for a piece of content is pointed to a location on the network. In simple terms, all of the devices on the network together create a sort of near-infinite virtual hard drive. It is similar to how BitTorrent operates, however with BitTorrent there is still some centralization happening. Though each of the peers are contributing drive space and bandwidth towards allowing the content to be made available, the ability to access that content is still centralized around a type of server known as a tracker. With fully decentralized networks, the metadata is stored on the data network itself as a whole, not dependent upon a single server for providing that information. The metadata on a fully decentralized network provides all of the information about the file itself, its location on the network, and what peers are currently available to provide that file when a request is made for it. LBRY, spelled LBRY, is an example of a fully decentralized network. I hear many people claim that BitChute is the only existing alternative to YouTube. However, it is not. Fully decentralized networks are the only existing alternative to YouTube and other mainstream services, which is why Ray desires to migrate BitChute into that type of network as soon as humanly possible. Fully decentralized networks do not depend upon mainstream domain name services. With centralized websites and services, the powers who should not be can decide to take down your domain name, and then it is game over. Your site is gone, you're done. With fully decentralized networks, though yes, they do tend to have web portals that are accessible by way of the mainstream internet, this is merely a portal into the network. Fully decentralized networks have no dependency whatsoever on mainstream domain services. So if the domain for the web portal is ever shut down, the network itself remains completely unaffected. There are, of course, ways for fully decentralized networks to even get around that by implementing a proxy server system. One example of such a system is the Pirate Bay. The Pirate Bay used to be a single BitTorrent site which resided on a server. This presented some obvious problems that they were always waging an uphill battle against. So what they decided to do is create a network of decentralized peers, and each peer runs their own web server, which allows mainstream web access into Pirate Bay. So now those web portals are available at a great many website addresses, and the powers who should not be do not have a way to shut them all down. Though fully decentralized networks such as LBRY, again LBRY, have no need for such a proxy system in order to keep running, incorporating such a proxy system in the future would allow for the awareness of the existence of LBRY to continue to spread to people on the mainstream web. I could also imagine BitChute doing exactly the same thing, and for the same reasons. One of the very important aspects to fully decentralized networks is that the protocols have their own syntax, which is not dependent upon anything mainstream. For example, LBRY has its own, Dat Network has its own, the Safe Network has its own, and so on. Within these structures, as long as a name is not already claimed, you may claim it freely. No yearly fees to domain name providers, no domain names being held hostage. If it is not already taken, you're welcome to claim it. Right now, it is a top priority that all of the protocols for web version 3.0 are able to communicate with each other. Otherwise, you'll end up with lots of different internets coexisting but that don't cross-communicate. That would be a mess. So APIs are needed to allow these different network protocols to be able to exchange information into, out of, and through each other. To paraphrase a popular meme, connect all of the things. Right now, there are 2 APIs that I know of which are designed to do exactly that. I'm not claiming others don't exist, but merely that I only know of 2. The first one being an API known as libp2p. Supported protocols are able to plug into libp2p to make cross-communication happen. So far, libp2p supports IPFS, Tor, I2P, BitTorrent, BitSwap, WebTorrent/WebRTC, and others. Which, by the way, seeing as it supports WebTorrent, WebRTC, BitTorrent, etc., that also means that it should be able to support the DAT network with no problem. And because it also supports IPFS, that means it should also technically be able to support LBRY with no problem, seeing as the 2 protocols are very similar to each other. Anyways, as well as protocols that, for the moment, are used primarily for centralized communications, such as FTP and HTTP. Because, yeah, I mean, we have to support legacy protocols too, so that we can migrate web version 2.0 over to web version 3.0. We don't want to have web version 2.0 and web version 3.0 indefinitely coexisting. You know, we need 2.0 to go away and for 3.0 to reign supreme. So there definitely has to be a lot of bridges between the two in order to pull Web 2.0 into Web 3.0. Anyway, regardless, each of these different protocols all have their pros and cons, just like anything else. So, libp2p is designed so that data communications are using the most efficient possible configurations of protocols so that things run as quickly and smoothly as possible. The second API is one that Ray himself brought to my attention, and it is called GUN, G-U-N. Though I have no clue what GUN stands for, or if it even is an acronym that stands for anything, it does have components that are acronyms that stand for things, each one with its own purpose. First I'll mention Joy! Oh, Joy! Though I don't think it is an acronym, the reason it is called Joy seems pretty clear to me. Basically, because it is designed to make things as easy and convenient as humanly possible, it is such a joy to work with. So, you see what they did there. Joy is the API for creating user interfaces. In an attempt to keep things simple, to the best of my ability to understand, Joy allows you to call for dynamic content by embedding it into static content. This allows for two very convenient things. The first thing is, if you want to design your own application, it makes doing this far less of a pain in the ass. The second thing is, if you have a static page on the regular centralized web, you can embed Joy into that page, allowing that page to essentially become a decentralized network node, using your browser cache in the same way an application might store data files to its own directories on a hard drive. Or if you want me to paint a better picture, imagine if having a page loaded allowed you to appear on a decentralized network for as long as you had that page open. This is a bit different than the BitTorrent concept, because with BitTorrent, you only appear for one torrent file or magnet link. Whereas with this, having a page open allows you the full capabilities of something like the LBRY application, for example, again, LBRY, but without needing to download and install an app. One cool use I could think of for this is, imagine if a decentralized application is banned on an app store, you know, Apple App Store, Google Play, whatever. All you need to do is have a basic mobile website page existing somewhere. Go to that link, and then that link will act the same way an installed app would. This is also one of those capabilities where the before-mentioned proxy function would be really slick as well. So, lots of potential. The next API component actually is an acronym, and it does exactly what it sounds like it does. Security, encryption, and authorization. There is nothing more to say about this one without getting into geek speak that you probably don't want to hear. You already understand the concepts of security, encryption, and authorization, so that is good enough. The RAD API, I don't know if it's pronounced RAID or RAD. I don't know what their intentions are with it, but it is short for Radix or Radix. R-A-D-I-X. Radix is the file storage API. Currently, the API supports browser cache, local files, IPFS, BitTorrent, WebTorrent, S3, and several others, with the capability to expand into whatever type of file storage method you wish to support. This also allows for the user interface application to be able to cross-platform with as many different types of data networks as you wish, both decentralized and centralized. So for a hypothetical example, if BitChute had its own decentralized application, it could use a variety of different simultaneous data networks to store both content pages and videos. So to imagine what this might look like, let's picture it like this. The BitChute application could store page content and metadata to library, DAT, IPFS, local storage on each BitChute peer, and browser cache storage for people using the application through a web proxy using the Joy capabilities mentioned earlier. While video files themselves could be seeded on library, DAT, IPFS, local storage on each BitChute peer, browser cache, the Internet Archive website, Google Drive, and the Pirate Bay, seeing as there is no rule stipulating that uploads to the Pirate Bay absolutely must be pirated content. Legal stuff can go there too if people want to upload that. So as you can see, short of physical force by government at gunpoint, there is no way that content on fully decentralized networks can be removed from the data network. Content can be filtered from being able to display, either by default settings in the application that cannot be changed, or user-defined settings that the user chooses for themselves. So for example, if an application did not wish to allow pirated movies to be shown, they can do that. This does not mean the pirated movie will cease to exist on the data network, nor does it mean that some other application won't be able to allow that content to be accessed. Similarly, an application can filter out illegal content such as child exploitation and things which promote calls to violence by terrorist groups such as ISIS, just for example. With fully decentralized networks, you also have full control of your own content with no middlemen able to interfere. This, of course, has both pros and cons. The pros are obvious. No one can spy on you or screw with your data. The cons are that if you lose your passwords or keys to access control of your content, you've lost it forever. There is no way to contact technical support to have them reset your password. A small price to pay for freedom, just make sure you have your keys and passwords backed up as redundantly as possible. On the bright side, even if you lose that stuff, at least you know that the content you put online will stay there forever. On the possibly not so bright side, this also means think before you upload. Those videos of you half naked and drunk while hanging from the ceiling singing the Star-Spangled Banner will also stay there forever. There's a lot more I could say about fully decentralized networking, cross-platforming, and all of the amazing potential of these technologies. However, I digress. The only other thing I wish to add is that people need to unite and cooperate on this stuff more than ever, and I would like to help do my part. I'm not a programmer, but I would like to find a way to bring coders together to collaborate with each other to do awesome stuff. You don't need to be some master coder. Even if you just have enough skill to write a web browser plugin, that should be more than enough of a skill level for you to participate. This is a collective effort. None of the tasks are placed on a single person. We're all able to do our small part to improve the larger picture. If you're not a coder but you have other skills, you can still help. Or, if you really have no technical skill at all, then just take videos about these topics, download them, and re-upload them as mirrored videos to as many different sites as you can. Spread the word. Let's make the internet great again.